All right.
Echo, echo.
So we're back. Sabacc with the Misfits.
All right.
What a week, month.
Right?
Past couple. God, it's been a little bit. So, but we're back and we're rolling. And
Yeah. That's cool. We got things to talk about now.
yeah, plenty of things to talk about. So as you can see, we have special guest Awkward. We're going to be doing a new guest every week. And yeah, so we're going to catch up with everybody, see what everybody's been up to, and then we got some fun stuff to talk about. How's everything on your end, Mike? What you got?
Oh, just living the dream, man. Busy as hell with work, God, counting down until Obi-Wan. I mean, this is going to be great.
2 more weeks.
Yeah, I
What
saw
about
some
you?
post that said 2 weeks out. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
It's coming up fast.
quick.
Yeah.
Man, it feels like it was like how long ago when they were like, guess what?
Yeah, when he came out on stage.
Like, man,
You want to play? What was it? Do you want to play Obi-Wan again or something like that, or will you?
Right. I still think the biggest flop was the fact that he didn't say hello there on stage.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely. Let me see if there's... What about you, Golden? What have you been up to?
Oh man, just work. It is just a routine, going through the routine.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how fast time flies. It's like
Right.
you don't realize, how many weeks it's been since we last kind of met up, right? It's
Right.
yeah, time flies.
It's been wild.
Life does not wait for anyone.
No.
Wow.
Awkward. What's up, man? How you been?
Not much, man. Been good. Pretty much same as you guys. Just busy with work and like I was saying earlier, had a massive water leak at work today, so got to start my weekend off wet and wild.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but glad I could make it, and thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
So I'm currently obviously still living out of boxes. We moved from the Keys, my wife and I, back to Orlando. So we're back in the city around people and civilization again. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, so that's why if it sounds echoey, it's because there's literally nothing in here yet. So yeah. So
Knowing you'll take care of that soon enough.
oh yeah, it'll
In due
get there. It'll
time.
get there. I got plans, big plans.
Hell yeah.
So we have had, I don't know, I mean, it's been a month pretty much since we've been on here, but we've had Obi-Wan teasers, 2 of them now.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of exciting stuff, and especially just hearing from like the press releases of like Hayden and them just talking, anyone talking about their battles and their duels and stuff. Like it's gonna be like the prequel battles and not so much like the original trilogy, obviously. So we're gonna get a lot of flipping around sabers.
Right.
So
Yeah.
another thing too, Golden, you said that there was a bounty hunter that showed up.
Yes.
That looked pretty familiar.
Yeah.
And his name is not Zuckus. It's Forlom, right? Don't ask Kenner. Kenner screwed it up. But yeah, that was kind of cool to get a teaser of another bounty hunter we haven't seen in live action
Right.
since 1980, right?
Right.
A little bit.
He had like 5 seconds of screen time, I think, in Empire.
Yeah, just in the lineup, right, of all the bounty hunters. That's
Mhm.
last.
Yeah.
I guess with Bossett.
There might not have even been a guy in the suit. It might have just been
A mannequin.
a mannequin.
Very well could have been.
Yeah.
So, what does everybody want to see, or what is everybody excited for? We don't want to speculate too much because we don't want to get our hopes up, and then something happens, and it's going to be a whole ordeal like every other series that happens. Everybody comes up with their own plan, and then they get mad when it doesn't go about. But what are you excited, Mike? What do you want to see?
Man, I've got, I think, 2 big things I want to see. The first is I'm really crossing my fingers for a Qui-Gon Force Ghost moment. I know, just because it's like I feel like almost every Star Wars installment, there's just especially around Obi-Wan and Luke, there's a tie between the Force Ghosts, and we know that like we left off with Revenge of the Sith. and them being like, "Oh, we'll show you how to talk to your old master." So that would be cool to see, like, that first interaction. Which I'm kind of thinking that first trailer that came out where he was like, "We lost." I'm thinking that's like that moment when he's talking to him. Like that would be like one of those super depressing moments to see him talking to his master like that. Then my second thing I want to see is just an absolute badass, awesome Darth Vader Obi-Wan fight. Like, God, it has to happen. If they don't, like, it's gonna be the biggest drop, man. I will feel so crushed. I'll still love it, but I'll feel crushed.
Yeah, and like Darkster just said, I mean, seeing the parts get put on and stuff was just like, God, arms, everything is just getting put on. It was so nice. What about you, George? What you got?
Man, like exactly the same as Mando. I mean, I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing Qui-Gon. I think he's game. I think he's down. He's not like active on social media, so there's no potential for him spoiling it. He can just lay low, live his life, and then pop up on day one, right? But yeah, and I think they kind of teased that scene with Obi sitting in the cave, right? There was kind of like a bluish light, and so yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're gonna see that. And then the second thing, just like Mike said, a full on crazy peak of his power, Darth Vader going nuts on Obi-Wan. And you know, we got that tease of what he can do in Rogue One, you know, but he was just going up against a bunch of hapless rebel soldiers. Like, I want to see him with that type of intensity going up against Obi.
Yeah.
And I think the emotional stakes are going to be there because, you know, Obi is probably still feeling guilty as hell, right? For pretty much roasting his best friend. So,
literally,
yeah. So that's gonna be a great dynamic to see again.
Just seeing Vader be like, what is it, the Vader Down comics when he was just a badass and like you said at his peak, just destroying everybody and just it's gonna be so good. What about you, Ak? You got anything else?
I'm pretty much same as you guys. Qui-Gon would be really cool. Obviously, the lightsaber duel would be awesome because Revenge of the Sith was the last one we got to see live action. But I would really like maybe a possible flashback with Ahsoka and Anakin and Obi-Wan, maybe throw in Captain Rex. I'd really like to see that, but that might be pushing the bar too high. But that's what I'm holding down for, man.
They had him supposedly that he was in his Clone War like armor and stuff in like some flashbacks that I forget where I saw that at or read that, but
yeah, that would be sweet.
May happen. Now the question is,
they teased some of that Clone Wars stuff with the Book of Bubba when they had that little Clone Wars scene. Well, that was Revenge of the Sith, but still clones. So, like, that would be great to see some Clone Wars era Anakin.
Hell yeah.
A little bit.
I would buy that poster to have live action Obi-Wan, Anakin, Rex, and Ahsoka. That would have to go on my wall.
Right.
Yeah.
In their Clone Wars armor.
Right.
Oh. Imagine like if they decided like tie in everything and like maybe put it to like you said the flashback of where Groovy was sitting there and seeing like Order 66 go down. See like I don't know, just I mean you wouldn't see obviously Vader in those scenes, but I mean just leading up to that maybe you'll see Hayden walk by like going to slaughter the younglings or something like that, like just walk by or something like that. That'd be just I can't wait. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So, I mean, you guys covered all the things. I don't even have to say anything. I mean, the duels, I mean, just seeing them live action again, I mean, they hardly ever age, it looks like. I mean, they look identical to when they were in episode 3, so I'm excited. So, yeah, 2 weeks for that. And then they just started shooting Ahsoka as well.
Right.
You saw
I think
the
yesterday or the day before.
chair with Filoni's hat, and yeah, so that's going to be happening soon.
I feel like we're getting spoiled right now, you know? Like, seeing Vader and Obi on live screen again, Ahsoka coming out, like,
Like, part of me wants it only to be one episode on Friday, just so they could drag it out longer and give us
Right.
Yeah.
watch. But
I saw somewhere, is it 6 or 8 episodes?
6.
I think it's 6.
So that means we're really only, unless they're counting the first day is 1 episode, which I think they're separating it into 2 episodes. So
It'd be 2 hours.
Right. So I mean, we really only have a month of it that
Mhm.
comes out. I mean,
And then what?
And then, yeah.
We won't talk about that yet. I feel like when we started like talking about Book of Boba Fett, that just flew by. I mean,
Right.
we were hyping that all up, and then all of a sudden, here and gone. So it's
right.
But that's part of what you were saying, George, was that time moves, it doesn't stop. So,
Relentless.
so we do. I mean, if anybody on here that's watching or listening, we do have MegaCon starting on Thursday in Orlando at the Orange County Convention Center. So we are going to be having our first annual meetup for the Misfits. Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. I know we have Tron coming out. We have a few others, so that's gonna be a good time. So, as far as me, and celebration. I mean, you guys got celebration. I wish I could be there for that, but oh well, next year. Maybe we'll be in Orlando next year.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Darkstar was saying that they're making people sign an NDA, right? For
Really?
Yeah. So I guess expect some releases. I don't know how well that's going to be enforced, or can it be enforced?
Yeah.
Well, what was the year that they had? They aired like the first. It was the Mando. They aired like the first episode of the Mando or something like that, and like a bunch of people used their phones and got like it was just
Right.
leaked instantly.
Right. So we're gonna have a ton of leaks, NDA or not. We're having a ton.
No matter what, but maybe that's promising there, man.
That was Celebration 2019, right? They had the sizzle reel or whatever that they released.
Right.
Yeah, sizzle reel. There was also the one where they did the Clone Wars, where they announced I think it was the year prior, where they announced the season 7 of the Clone Wars, the final season or whatever, and it was just a trailer or something, but no one was supposed to do anything. And of course, like instantly, there's like YouTube videos, people live streaming that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Have you been to Celebration? Awkward?
No, I have not. I'd really like to get the chance to go. So hopefully here in the next couple of years, like, maybe when it hits the East Coast, I'll make the trip over.
That's the biggest thing too, like just traveling across
Yeah.
I mean, Mike is in Oregon or Oregon, right? Somewhere in
Washington, Oregon, it's
Up
like
there,
right
in that area.
in the woods. It's great. Yeah.
So it's tough. I mean, to go across country for a convention. I mean, I'm seeing people, what is it, bourbon and buckets or buckets and bourbon? I mean, he's literally mailing his armor, like
Right.
Whoa.
because
And I think he spent a ton to mail it.
he's literally mailing his armor piece by piece to celebrate. Like that blows me away. We got the crowd in here.
Our family's
What's
gonna,
going on?
Mando Clan.
Yeah, our family's gonna attend FanX in Utah, and so we're gonna end up driving because I mean it's not too crazy of a drive, but still like thinking of how to get like all these kits from A to B. Like if we didn't have be the minivan family, I don't know what we would be doing.
Well, do like bourbon and buckets. Mail them.
Right. That was
Just,
brought
I
up.
don't know if I would trust them. Can you imagine like getting there? I mean, I don't want to put any like bad juju on them, but you get there and like you open up your mail or your armor and like some pieces are broken or something. Like,
Oh man,
I've
that
seen
would
what
be devastating.
FedEx and UPS can do damage wise. So I mean,
Right. You gotta insure that thing with all. I mean, even so, like like with my armor, I mean, that's custom made. Like if I made it again, it wouldn't look the same. I mean, it's just is what it is. So like, and yeah, Lady Wren, I'll be there.
Oh, Lady Wren.
Yeah,
Lady
we'll
Wren
meet up.
is she has the perfect Sabine cosplay. I mean,
She's like right out of the
I
TV.
see no better.
Yep.
She is Sabine.
Honestly, I've seen it. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she has all the different variation of costumes too, like her Imperial, and so good.
Let's say I think my favorite Ren one was Sabine one was the final season one with the LEDs on the armor. That was like that was great.
Awkward. I saw that you're building some armor. You're working on some chest pieces. I saw.
I am. Yeah. We'll see how that works out. Hopefully going to try to be painting this weekend, weather permitting. So
Nice.
Is it still cold over there?
yeah, it's weird, man. Like we're in the 70s during the day, and then it drops into the low 40s at night, and then it can't make up its mind. So hopefully here
It's like
soon.
the
I'm like itching to get this armor done, dude. I'm so excited. So
Looks good so
Yeah.
far.
oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just out the box. So I gotta, I guess, do some sanding on it, and then just kind of decide what my colors are gonna be.
Is it 3D printed or what is it?
It is. It's 3D printed by. It's I think I slipped the name, but it's tagged in the post. But I got it off of Etsy.
Nice.
Yeah, it's actually my first 3D build. So we'll see how it goes.
Are you
I'm
gonna do
amazed at the detail that the 3D armors can get. I mean, it's fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you could choose between just like a clean version, or I got the battle damage, so it's got a couple dents and chunks missing out of it. So
Right.
but it's incredible, absolutely incredible that can just
That's awesome.
print stuff out of nowhere.
Right.
Have a good night, Shroud. Yeah, I've seen too. Like if I want to get a 3D printer, but it looks so frustrating sometimes. I mean,
Yeah,
you have
ask me
to
some
put
horror
the
stories.
ports on there. If you don't, it tips over, and then
Right.
the filament gets clogged. It's just after like 10 hours of printing, it clogs up.
Dude, that's the worst. I printed a helmet, and I found a way to print it like all in one, so you don't have like any issues with it like coming loose or anything.
Ooh.
And I got literally to like halfway up the dome, and it like skipped or something, and then just trashed the print. And like I'm a cheap printer, so I had to like start from scratch because there's no way to like figure out where on it stopped. At least there probably is. I don't know. I redneck this shit, so I don't know. But I was like, oh, I gotta restart it. I had to restart the whole thing. I was so ticked.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to get the thinner PVC board. I need to try that next go round because the one I got is like the 1/2 inch or whatever, and it's a little too much to maneuver and mold and whatnot. So
Yeah, the Sintra I use for my Bubba armor, it's thinner. I don't know what millimeter, but that stuff, I mean, you could probably form it with like a blow dryer.
Oh wow.
It's pretty sturdy, but like it's really malleable, which is nice because I think my first kit, I should have definitely taken time and did. I just jumped into it. I went and bought ABS plastic, which is like PVC piping.
yeah,
Like that stuff takes like forever to heat. It's durable. I mean, I still use pieces of it with my other kit, but like you can stand on that stuff and like it's not breaking. Like it's great, but yeah, it was a pain to form. In fact, I did a full one piece back armor, and when I first did it, it just looked like a turtle shell. Like I couldn't get it to like form. It was so frustrating. Like I'd form one side and the other side would be like Quasimodo. Like it just was like left and right. Like I was like, God damn it! But it was great. I love that armor because it's just durable. But yeah, Sintra I think is the way to go. That stuff is pretty easy to deal with.
I have to.
Yeah, that seems to be the go-to.
My vest. I need to figure out my vest because it's a little too tall. So that collar piece kind of is like right on my neck. So
yeah.
Get the straps and put some new ones in to kind of drop it down a little bit. So, but I got less than a week to do that. We'll see if that happens. I've been working every single day since we got back, so it's like I've had no time to do anything. But we'll get there. But yeah, so MegaCon. I mean, one of these times we'll all get together and be able to maybe have a live podcast. So one day.
Right.
But a thing that we were going to talk about a few weeks ago, before the move and the rush of everything, was our favorite Star Wars planets. If we had to pick one, what would it be and why and what would you do? And yeah, so we'll start with you, Mike, if you want to start it off.
Man, I completely forgot we were going to talk about that.
It's all right. You only had a month to.
I know.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
thinking about it the whole time. I'd probably have to say my top two favorites. I think lore-wise, I love Korriban or Moraban or whatever they're calling it nowadays. But the Korriban planet with the Sith, that was just so cool in like the Knights of the Old Republic to see, like the history behind it and everything. But like probably more canonized ones, just Coruscant, just like how deep that thing was and like all the lore to it. It was just so cool seeing like this planet-wide city that like there was no ground. Like that was just cool. And then like the books and everything, all the underground like seedy stuff that goes on, you know, down under. Like it was just cool to see. I loved I'd have to say Coruscant probably my top. But if I'm going like luxury. Yeah, no, Coruscant's my favorite. We'll stick with that. That's the final.
You're just going to run with that. All right.
Right, we'll run with it.
What you got, George? What's yours?
It's funny. I was gonna say the same thing. Coruscant. Coruscant is definitely my favorite. I think it appeals to my love of sci-fi and cyberpunk. I grew up, with loving cyberpunk and that Blade Runner, Fifth Element vibe.
What's that?
Yeah. You have to see Fifth Element. Can anyone believe that Nick has not seen the Fifth Element? That's unimaginable to me.
I've seen bits and pieces. I've just never been able to sit through the whole thing for some reason.
No,
so I will definitely sit through it one time all the way through. I mean, I know Chris Tucker's in there with his hair all crazy. I know.
Oh man, they're all at their peak.
Willis, man. I mean, come on.
I know.
I have not seen it either, so do not feel bad.
All right.
Whoa!
I actually, to be honest, I don't even know what the hell y'all are talking about.
Wow.
That's worse. That's worse.
I know. Yeah. Living under a
I've
rock.
only seen it like maybe twice, so I mean, it was good though. I like that one.
I've seen it like maybe 24 times. I can't. If it's on TV, I gotta watch it.
I feel like that's what I see bits and pieces of it is on TV, like flipping through. I'm like, oh, what's this? And then that's over a course of how many ever years. So you like the cyberpunk feel and kind of that futuristic.
Yeah, and just because the possibilities just seem endless, like there is no end to the stories or the adventures that you can have on Coruscant, like at any level, from a political standpoint or even from like a seedy, gangster type of standpoint. There's like so many stories that can be told there, and it's just endless possibilities.
Yeah. What about you, Wak? What you got? What's your favorite Star Wars planet?
The one that piques my interest the most is, I forget the name of it, but I believe it's the home of the blue, I think she's a Twi'lek that gets shot and killed in Revenge of the Sith. They turn on her. It's all like all the planet with all the flowers and
Felucia.
Okay.
Actually, Darkseid just did that too.
That's really cool. But I run very hot, like hot-blooded as nature. So I think I would probably settle down on somewhere in Hoth. Maybe find
like
little
you must really run hot.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, yeah, that's probably where I'd go, man. Nice little cave. Get some bantha fur and spread it out.
You have a wampa
wampa rug. Yeah.
Double ice standard. It's great.
I mean, I love being cold and I hate sweating, so I could see Hoth for sure. But I mean, that's almost a little too cold. But if you're inside of me, it's not that bad. Go out during the day, right? Or I don't know. I don't want to be dealing with wampas.
Yeah.
You got a pastor, you'll be all right, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't let them get too
I think
close.
he's the only one. So mine's pretty. I mean, I'm gonna go with Naboo because I love the ocean, the water, the fishing, hunting type deal. So you got the forest, you got the city, you got the ocean, a little bit of everything. I want to catch me a giant Cuba fish or spear one, whatever you got to do.
I mean, there's always a bigger fish, man.
There's always a bigger fish. So, yeah, I just ever since I saw episode 1, I just fell in love with that planet and just the views. But I mean, again, Hoth, with being cold all the time, I could go with that too. But to be swimming or diving in those waters, I don't know if I'd want to be around Cuba fish and stuff. But yeah, Hugo Teeth, exactly. But yeah, it would be pretty cool, and then get to hang out with Jar Jar all the time. Who wouldn't want to do that? Right?
Yeah, right?
You just really got to watch out for that sand, though. I hear it's pretty irritating.
Yeah, it's coarse.
Yeah.
It's in places. Yeah, it's.
Right. See how many Star Wars puns we can drop in an episode?
I know, right?
But yeah,
my only thing with Felucia is anytime I think Felucia, I think of that original Battlefront game. Well, I guess not the original number 2 Battlefront game, where
Right.
you end up on Felucia, and then all of a sudden those accolades come out, and they're just like massacring everyone, and like they're just impenetrable. Like as a kid, that was like so terrifying trying to play that level. Like they just pop out of nowhere.
But aren't the plants trying to kill you too? It's like everything is trying to kill you on that.
Yeah.
those
It's
plants.
beautiful. I mean, it is like all that like wildlife was awesome, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, yes, but the wildlife includes rancors.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I'll be going to Felucia anytime soon.
Yeah, those are pretty. Yeah, I'll pass on those ones.
Yeah.
Jack-
See, on Coruscant, the only thing you got to worry about is getting blasted in the back, and that's like living in Brooklyn anyway. So it's not,
Just got to watch out for getting.
I'll be all right on Coruscant.
I heard Jakku's nice too. Everybody wants to go there, so.
Everybody wants to go back for some reason. Yeah.
So, if you had to pick like a favorite species of animal or creature or alien out of those planets, what would you pick?
Ooh, that's a good one, man.
I know that's a left field throw there to throw everybody off, but if you were on your planet that you said that you liked, I mean, I'm not sure which ones you got, Mike, on your planet, but I'm gonna let you go first. What is it?
It's like concrete and metal, man. That's what it stands for.
Right?
And if your planet
I
doesn't
don't
have
even
a
think there's
creature,
really any like natural like animals left on it. Like
I don't think there's any like.
yeah, there's not really anything.
Yeah.
So, just in general, since your planet doesn't have one, what would you, in any of them, what is your favorite creature, alien?
dude, I
How about
love
you pick
rancors.
Tauntaun?
Like, I love rancors, but like I don't know if I'd want to have like one hanging around, man. Like I feel like that's kind of like sketch.
Mm.
I like Lothwolves. The Lothwolf, I mean, obviously, I like Lothwolves. Like I feel like those were always like the moment they introduced those in the Rebels series was fantastic.
Mhm.
That's probably got to be my favorite animal out of all of them.
All right, George, what do you got on your planet?
Well, nothing on
No, you don't have
Coruscant. But
anything
you know
on
what?
either.
And this planet is actually a close second now that I think about it. Endor, the Ewok,
Yeah.
Ooh, very
right? The Ewok. I would go down there with my golden helmet, and I would become their king.
Do that, or you're
Hell
like
yes.
a nice head ornament somewhere. What are they?
Yeah. Well, I'm betting on the better scenario, but just because of the way they treated 3PO.
Yeah.
So I think I'll be okay as long as I don't take my helmet off. I won't be dinner. I'll just be invited to dinner.
Yeah.
So
I was listening to Thank the Maker, which is another podcast. They're amazing. They were talking about Endor and how they were praising Leia and giving her like all these clothes and stuff. Those are dead people's clothes. Like they ate those people. Like those.
Right.
So, if you see a golden helmet laying around anywhere, you know what happened.
Yeah, my plan didn't work out.
That's one thing as a kid I always thought was funny. Like they have all those stormtrooper helmets. They're like playing the drums on it. I'm like, they ate them. Like,
they roasted them up.
Like as a kid, I'm even like, God, these things. There's probably like a skull hanging out inside. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, but the rebels were right there partying with them at the.
Yes.
So.
That's one of those hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil moments.
There you go.
So, like, it's not a war crime if we didn't witness the cutting up, you know.
So we got Darkstar is Lothcats, and then Lady Ren is Babu Frick, whatever species he is, but I'll take him too.
Yeah, Babu Frick.
Oh, Babu.
I can have a drink with Babu Frick.
Little tiny Babu Frick.
Yeah, little baby.
That was probably like one of the funniest things in that movie. I love that character. Like,
hey!
When he popped up in the X-ray, I was like, yes, this is awesome.
Or the creature. What is the creature from when they get they link up with Lando and he like beats on the wall to like tell him to go and he goes okay and then like he's like this tall speaker looking guy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'll take that one too. What about you, Aqua? What's yours?
I don't know. Hoth has some pretty, I guess, agitated, mean animals. So, I am a huge cat person in real life. So I'm gonna have to go with Darkstar and take the Lothcat.
Lothcat.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you read the Empire Strikes Back according to or whatever they came out with?
No, I haven't.
Mm-mm.
So like they do like the first chapter is on the Wampa from Hoth and like what happened to him before he ended up in the cave with Luke.
What?
And like yeah, and it's like all about like how he was out like hunting for his family and rebels came in and massacred his family. Like
Wow.
And so he just lived in the cave by himself dying until Luke stumbled in. He's like, I guess I'll eat him. And like he put him in the
His arm
wall,
off.
Rips his arm off.
Yeah, and he cut his arm off, and that was the end of the
Wow.
chapter. I was like,
And now
oh
he's sitting there
my
even more
God.
sad with one arm.
And the Empire like stomps around and like kills everything. But the end was he ends up like somehow saving his arm, not his arm, but like saving it from like bleeding out. And once the Empire gets rid of the village, he claims the rebel base as like his new cave.
No
And that
way.
was, like, so like now he owns like the rebel cave on Hoth.
So do we think a Wampa has a voice? Like maybe he just didn't talk around, but maybe he sounds kind of like has a Chewbacca voice, maybe.
Like a Chewbacca language?
Yeah,
A Wampa
he's got
language?
like that.
Yeah, because I mean, in the book, it was like completely sentient. Like it was like obviously rudimentary sentient, like it's out hunting and stuff like that. But like it cared for its family, like it wanted like to bring back food and all that. So I mean, maybe.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch Empire and be like all sad about it when I came to
Sad,
see it by
The
himself.
guilt, the guilt press.
Oh man.
Well, maybe we'll get the full story in like a solo movie or something. Wampa
Wampa,
Wampa.
Star Wars story.
God, man, that's depressing. Like
I know.
poor guy.
What book was it? It was
He has nobody to talk to anymore. So I mean,
Right, Luke is the real a-hole.
From a certain point of view ones where they like, in fact, they cover like one of the mouse droids on the Death Star before it blows up. Like it's wild the stories they have in there.
did the mouse droid make it off, or did he?
No, the mouse droid was spying on two officers having an affair on the Death Star. I don't know why they put it in there, but like literally, like that was the mouse droid, and like it was like witnessing them like disregard their jobs and like trying to report it. But the high up officer was like hacking into it to send the other officer like love notes and stuff.
Wow.
Canon.
Yeah, I'm guessing like it's just like
Wow.
it's just, like from a certain point of view. So it's like all these stories from characters. Like it covers Greedo. The reason Greedo was pissed off at Han was because Han had taken his girl years back.
What?
Like that's why he was out.
Well, I mean, I guess he was trying to get freaky with a robot, so you can't really blame him for going.
Right. So like there's all it's probably been the most entertaining read because it's like all these random stories about random characters inside of all these stories that we know, but like they're just so bizarre. But
That's cool though. I like that.
Yeah.
The only one I know is the only one I think I've read, not even the whole. I've read an excerpt. Is the story on the Dianaga on the Death Star?
Yep.
Like even the Dianaga and the Death Star has a backstory.
Right.
Wow. What was
Books are there?
So there's two books. There's A New Hope and Empire. They've been releasing them at the 40. So I think next year it's next year. Return of the Jedi. So that'll be a good one.
Yeah, because it was what 83. So yeah, 40.
Yeah.
2000.
But like it's like probably like 40 different authors that have written books over even the Legends materials.
wow?
That each of them get like one short story in this book about some point during the storyline.
Well,
Like-
the story about R5 helping R2 came out of those books.
That's where
The
that
first
came
one.
from. Okay.
Right.
So I guess it is kind of canon. Like I don't know,
It
it's
is
great.
canon.
Like
I did hear about that story. That was actually cool how they were communicating, saying that like he pretty much killed himself so he could help the rebellion. So
Wow.
Mhm.
yeah.
pretty neat. God, that's wild though.
I'm telling you, the stories are crazy.
Jeez.
Instead of the what ifs, they should have made animated stories on those.
I would
Right.
still love to see a what if Star Wars series. Just not obviously it won't be canon.
100%.
Do it
Right.
like what you call it, Visions, and
hmm
throw it out there. Anything Star Wars, I'll watch. I mean, and millions of other people will too. So, what were we on? Animals, right? Aqua, you said Loft Cat.
Yep.
That's a tough one. I mean, if I had to go off of Naboo, I would have to go after like cool fish. So I'd probably say, did they ever tell what kind of species the one that ate the long one that ate the Cuba?
They did call it something. I can't remember what it's called.
I forget what the name of that one was. But that one for my planet. But overall, I mean, I would love to have a Rancor, but it'd be pretty dangerous stuff. I mean, that's like having a grizzly bear but on steroids. So I don't know if
Right.
As long as you have Danny Trejo helping you, you'll be all right.
I can't wait to see that man more. I hope they show him more in either Mando or something else.
Yeah,
They're gonna have to tie the two together, so we're definitely gonna see more backstory on a lot of that. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe Boba will come in and take over Mando's show, and then
He should. He should. He should come in and be the badass he should have been in his show.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
right. Well, he had those badass moments in Mandalorian when we first saw him, and it was just kind of like they just disappeared. Like we took out
Right.
an entire fleet of stormtroopers and shoots the fucking starships out of the sky. Like, come on, that's the Boba Fett we need.
Yeah.
Right. And then turning around and not even looking at the explosion. That's
Please.
that's what heroes do.
The walk away. Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Or
Slow-mo walk.
spin moves are the big hero thing. But yeah, I mean, so that's pretty much where our main topics were this week. Does anybody have? Oh, now Tron and Bouch Paper are going to join in after everything's over.
Oh, now
Oh,
after we talked about all the good stuff.
Yeah, we were just trash talking Tron, and he missed out. But,
Carlitos has a good one. Crate Dragons.
ooh, very nice.
that
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want one as a pet, but man, it was so great to see them in live action.
I would say I wish they would have gone over in the Bubba one where what they do with the pearl, the Tuscans.
Right.
I thought that was cool. The little Easter egg at the end of the Mando episode where they find
Right.
the pearl, because that was
Right.
such a huge portion in the KOTOR game. Like that was great. So
Right.
I'd love to see what they would do with it.
Mhm.
Right? Like, what would they do?
Future Star Wars story.
Yeah.
You put it in one of those
The
books.
pearl.
Yeah.
The curse of the Krayt Dragon Pearl.
Exactly.
And then we're gonna
That's
find out
really
that
what it
the only
is. You
great
didn't spin
dragon
it,
left
you know?
in existence, and his family got massacred like the Wampa, and it's gonna be all
Yeah, right.
again.
That's the next story, you know. Sad, sad Krayt Dragon.
Prom Trooper, yes, 7. No, are you coming there Saturday or when are you coming there? I can't remember if he was gonna do 4 days or not. Trooper with Attitude, Dark Stars will be there. He'll be there all 4 days, but unfortunately, none of us will be going to Celebration. But yeah, I'm ready to party it up with Golden. Or Tron, sorry. Golden, still come on down.
I wish. I wish. I wish.
Yeah.
But Tron is fun. Tron is a good guy. You'll have fun with Tron.
We just got to keep him awake. He'll probably outdo me, right? He's probably a party animal.
Tron?
He's gonna...
Yeah, frickin' Tron, he flies into New York, parties all night, wants to have breakfast still, and then walk to Penn Station from like downtown Manhattan. He's unstoppable, that guy.
And
he didn't even bring a change of clothes. He came in his cosplay on the plane and left in his cosplay.
Can you imagine getting on the plane and just sitting down in your chair and you got Tron sitting next to you? Just put his phone, get up. I don't even think I would make eye contact with him. I would just keep looking straight and not like even acknowledge that he was there because I'd be afraid. But
it's like the episode in the Book of Bubba where he sits down next to that Rhodian kid and he's just staring at him.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
I hate public transportation.
Exactly.
We do have a train station right next to our house. That's the Sunrail, and it's like a quarter mile up the road. So we're actually going to get to ride a train. Maybe I'll have to dress up and go on that too. Alex Payne says he's on a no-fly list now.
Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah, I got to give it to Tron. We had breakfast. I asked him, "Do you want to ride?" He's like, "No, I'll walk." It's like 30 blocks, and he's in his cosplay. I'm like, all right, good luck.
Jeez. There's a Bucket and Brew coming up soon, right? With
yeah, well, I think he wants to do it after New York Comic Con.
Okay.
The event that he has coming up is a Obi-Wan watch party.
Ooh.
So he found a nice little venue, and we're going to be watching the first 2 episodes, projecting it on a big screen, and just have some fun.
I need
a little more
for a watch party. I'll have to find some people around at MegaCon that live here and maybe link up and do a watch party. That'd be fun. We just got a new TV and it's bigger than the wall out there, so it feels like you're in the movie theater staring up at the wall. But yeah,
great.
I'm excited for MegaCon. I'm excited to be back at cons. It's been like 3 years since I've been.
Right.
I mean, obviously Bausch Babe, you're more than welcome to come over. We'll get Bucket Babe over. Everybody will come over. But yeah, so conventions are back on. Can't wait. Yeah, I mean, you guys got anything else going on that you want to talk about?
No, I mean, I've been seeing all the posts. There seems to be a nice lineup of community members going to a MegaCon, so you'll be in good company.
Yeah.
Like you said, I know Bucket Babe, Bosch Babe.
Yeah. I'll be there.
Yeah, Bucket Babe's gonna have like 5 different cosplays, and yeah, it's gonna be a nice lineup. I'll be watching on Instagram, so screw all of you guys.
We'll do some live. Yeah, Bausch Babe is pretty much my neighbor now. She lives in the next town over, so we'll be
Oh, really?
stuff. We're trying to get Bucket Babe to move over to Orlando.
Nice.
She's in Jacksonville, but yeah. So, well, if you guys don't have anything else, I mean, we'll link up Thursday and we'll keep this thing going. We just kind of want to jump on here and see what everybody else is doing since we haven't been on here in a month. Maybe I'll have more than a shelf. I'll have all this place loaded up. So, but
At least one week.
Yeah, something. I need something. A light, maybe just one single light in the wall or something. I don't know.
So I need to get on your status of lights, man. Mine's just like spotlight right here. It just kills me every time. I try to turn it off, it just looks like I'm like the Bat Cave. Like, I need like some good lighting in here, man.
Got to get a ring light. That's what I got. I got the whole rest of the room black, and then I got the ring light. Basic.
Get that done.
So
I think I have one somewhere, but I don't know.
All right, so next Thursday, we're back on it. We're going to go back to Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be rotating guests. This week we have Awkward. We're going to have this on YouTube, and we're going to have it on Apple Podcasts. We're going to get back on that roll now that everything's kind of calming down with everything that's going on. And yeah, we're going to have some exciting stuff to talk about next week, and then we got Kenobi the week after. So it will come live from MegaCon next week. I don't know. We'll see. But all right, guys, it was great seeing all your smiling faces and helmets. Awkward. All right, guys, have a great night. See ya.